I'm going to read one of the many short stories from the Our Author Gang site. And this short story is called The Blizzard Wedding of 1977, written by myself, author Lorraine Carey. As I approach my 48th wedding anniversary on January 29th, I can't help but reflect on the only time in my life that I earned the title of Bridezilla. Well, it's not a badge I wear with pride, but sometimes the stress of orchestrating the perfect wedding can push even the calmest bride over the edge. Well, we've all heard these tales, bridezillas demanding perfection, snapping at friends, family, and vendors as they strive to turn their Pinterest boards into reality. Some brides demand bridesmaids to do drastic things such as lose weight, dye their hair, and choose a gown that is way out of their budget. A viral tweet once proclaimed, "If someone wears white to my wedding, I will literally spill red wine on them. Hashtag Bridezilla." Can you imagine that? The audacity. Back in 1977, there were no viral tweets or Instagram feeds to fuel unrealistic expectations. Instead, there were family traditions, weddings, magazines, and the memories of elegant ceremonies that I once attended. My half-Italian mother took charge, planning a grand affair, a beautiful church ceremony, a live band, the best caterer, and of course trays of homemade Italian cookies baked by family friends. This was a tradition. Everything was perfect, as well it seemed, until the weather decided otherwise. The blizzard of the century. January in Northeast Ohio, was always a gamble, but no one could have predicted the blizzard of the century would strike on my wedding day. I had to wonder, was this an omen? When I announced my chosen date back in November, my mother had warned me, "Why not be a June bride? You'll regret this." But I was stubborn, insisting on a winter wonderland wedding. By January 28th, the governor declared a state of emergency. Roads were closed, businesses shut down, even the airport was out of commission. My dream wedding felt like it was slipping away. I had guests who were flying from out of state to attend the wedding. So with all of this, I flew into my Bridezilla rage the day before. I was hysterical and locked myself in the bedroom, pacing back and forth in tears, refusing to come out. I phoned my fiancé, and he had assured me that he would be there even if he had to walk. But if everything was closed, he'd walk to a phantom event. Everything was in place, yet there would be guests who were coming from out of town who couldn't make it. The caterers were on hold and everything else. Well, my mother, being who she was, took control of the situation. And having a family with some pretty strong connections in the area had assured her they'd be there. She also had reminded me that she told me back in November a January wedding was not a good idea. But I was too stubborn to listen. My father had come to my room and gave me a big hug and words of comfort, reassuring me all would be well, and I can remember that precious memory to this very day. The end result was a fabulous wedding, even if the pews the church service held fewer guests than expected. By evening, most of the roads had cleared, with some of the snow melted, along with the city plow trucks working overtime. This meant that many were able to finally get to the reception, where I felt more relaxed and finally ready to enjoy my party. The catered Italian food was delicious, and we danced to the local band, played by some of my favorite love songs that were popular at the time. I've read the Bridezilla era may be coming to an end, with couples opting for smaller and low-budget weddings. This could be due to the cost of living these days, and many couples would much rather save their money to purchase a home. I've heard even modest weddings nowadays may start around $20,000. Well, it's been 48 years now, and this Bridezilla is still happily married. Not to say that I don't turn into a wifezilla now and then, but I believe we all have those moments and days that can push a few buttons. If you enjoyed this story, please stay tuned for more, because there will be more readings coming, short stories and more, from the authors at Our Author Gang.